Amy, I want you to remember one thing.
Oh, now, the way you act, you'd think I was getting old.
Now, Amy, remember one thing. McIntyre's a young man. Now, he doesn't know what it was like when we came to Nevada, and he doesn't think the older settlers have any special privileges.
He's a Johnny-come yesterday, still wet behind the ears.
He is the judge. He's a firm man, and he's an honest man. So when you get in there, try to look a little contrite.
Got nothing to be contrite about. Like always, I asked Si, and like always, he said you gotta do what's right, Amy, and that's what I done.
Good to see you, Ben. Maybe with you here, Mrs. Wilder will be a little more reasonable this time.
Tain't me who's unreasonable, Judge. It's Roberts there.
Amy, please sit down.
Now, just whose fence you think you've been pulling out time and again? And whose land you think it's on? Yours? No, mine.
Oh, it don't matter whose land it is. The deer been running along that land down to my creek for longer than any of us have been breathing. They got prior rights.
Mrs. Wilder, this is the 4th time you've been before me, brought on charges by Mr. Roberts of malicious destruction. It simply can't go on.
Oh, yes, it can go on, and it will, too, as long as that robber keeps dirtying everything he touches. You cut down every single tree you ever owned. You lay the land stark naked. You poison every drop of water.
Amy.
You know what that means for all of God's critters? Starvation, that's what. Fish turning belly up. Nothing to eat for the birds, nor the deer, nor the coon, nor the coyote, nor even the poor old cougar.
The poor old cougar?
Oh, of course it's your fence, but you just put that fence up to keeping the deer out of my creek, just so as to plague me, just so as to blackmail me into selling you that land and the water rights I own down Carson Way. Land you want so you can build a dirty old stamp mill and poison another stream.
Amy, will you please sit down?
She's worried about a few fish, and I'm trying to help the mine owners and the economy of Virginia City.
Well, I'm not to be blackmailed, not by nobody, not for nothing. Not till Satan's home ranch freezes solid. Now, I paid my fine afore, and I'll pay it again, and I'll pay it any time that robber there builds a fence to stop them deer.
Mrs. Wilder, next time it may not be that simple.
Don't worry about next time. I'll be in the wagon, Ben. I just can't stand the smell around here.
Everybody in town's talking about it, Ben. She's senile. It would be so much easier, so much kinder all around if she just agreed to commit herself. Maybe you can talk to her. Ever since Si died, you're the only one she'll listen to. And it's for her own good.
For whose good? Hers? Boy. No, sirree. Amy may be eccentric, but she's sure not senile.
Can we stop by the hardware store, Ben? I ordered me 500 pounds of bird seed. They just come in.
500 pounds? Oh, sure, Amy. Let's go by the hardware store and pick it up. After the long winter, them birds will be needing all of that seed. Yeah.
See things. It's so different from Atlanta.
Yes, it must be. It's your bag?
Yes.
Well, we might as well get started. You know, they try to get Amy to have a doctor's examination. She does none of that. Well, this fellow Roberts, he's a lumberman, stamp mill. Well, one of the so-called finer ladies in town, they're trying to make out that Amy's senile, want to have her committed to an institution.
Can they do that? Browbeat a helpless old lady like that?
Not if you stop it. You're next to kin. Just the same, I wish you'd talk to Amy and see if you can get her to act a little more circumspectly. And she's not exactly helpless, Amy. She has her own way of thinking and doing things, always has. Well, say that she keeps peculiar company.
Oh, you mean all those stray animals she takes in? My brother's letters are always full of them. The deer and whatnot.
Yeah, among others.
Oh, you're nice, Mr. Portland. You can't bring yourself to say it. Amy's an eccentric, isn't that it? But aren't we all in one way or another? It's hardly what I expected. I thought Cyrus left her well off.
Oh, he did. But Amy doesn't care much about how things look. Well, you know how Amy is.
No, I don't. Not really.
Here, let me help you.
Thank you. I haven't known Amy for years, except through letters. And she hasn't written many of those lately.
Who's that you got there with you?
It's me, Amy. Margaret.
Margaret. Oh. Oh, my. Don't you look as fine as a spring sunrise, but you always was a pretty thing. Oh, Amy. Why didn't you tell me she was coming?
I did, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago? Oh, 20 years back, I could remember everybody and everything, but last week and the week before gets clean away from me.
How about the load of salt you ordered?
Oh, dear, I'll be glad to hear that. Put it in the barn for me, would you? Hope this ain't all you brought along with you.
My trunks will be here in a few days. Let me carry that.
Oh.
Amy, what about Ben?
Oh, Ben has all that unloading to do. Besides, you don't want to hear a couple of old hens gossiping, do you? Now, you can sleep in the spare room upstairs, because I got to get fresh sheets and all. But first, I better fix us some supper. Oh, you must be starved to death. Come on, boys. You'll get fed, too. Yes, you know, the food they serve you in them way stations ought better be buried in the backyard. Just sit down and make yourself to home. Come on. What's the matter? Oh, that's just Harriet. Nothing to worry about. You probably scared her worse than she did you.
You knew she was here?
Well, no, but the door's always open. Harriet, she just comes and goes. That little fella there on the table, he's named Squirrel. Ain't got around to naming him yet. This old fella here, this Crow, what's the matter there? You see, he hurt his leg. You notice he got it bandaged. It's gonna be all right, though. I call him Mr. Poe. Yes, after the writer fella.
Poe, the poet. That was a raven, wasn't it?
Well, 'twas. It ain't got a raven, just a crow. Now, you get down there. And we'll go and eat something. Looks fine, don't he?
It's been so many years, Amy. We'll have to get acquainted all over again.
Well, we got lots of time.
Amy, about this talk in town.
Oh, gonna mend that. Just as soon as I get time. You know, Ben worries too much. I told him so when he... Come on, now move over. When he asked me if he could write to you. There, you see, it all come back to me. Anyway, they're just talking foolishness in town.
I'm sure they are. But I'm here to stay, Amy, and take care of you. Heaven knows I owe it to you.
Oh, you don't owe me nothing, Margaret, nor Si neither. But it's right kindly of you to come, and you're welcome. I'm pretty handy, though, you know, at taking care of myself. But it'll be good to have you, if you can stand my housekeeping. You know, I get busy and I just let things go.
Oh, not so. Everything looks just fine.
Well, either you're blind or I am. No, the floor needs mopping and the curtains need washing.
Well, I can be a help.
House needs painting, too. Been meaning to get to that, but you know, I can't decide what color it should be. White'd be nice. But then it'd take 2 coats to cover.
White would look nice.
Barn red'd be cheaper. I'll have to ask Si. He'll tell me what to do, won't he, huh?
Ask him. But Amy, Cyrus is dead.
Well, that don't mean that I still can't ask him. Well, I wouldn't do nothing without first talking it over with Cyrus.
We can look at cutting material, can't we?
Oh, we can look at it, but I ain't much of a hand at making them. I don't know. I cut them straight, but they always hang like they was going uphill.
I'll make the cuttings.
Joe, boy.
Hi, Amy.
Nice of you to drop by. Oh, bet you're too late for coffee.
Well, we had our coffee long ago while you... Pardon me, ma'am. While you ladies were still asleep.
Asleep? Why, I had the animals fed and watered and the eggs gathered and breakfast on the stove before it was light enough to blow out the lantern.
That's what I said. I got up late. Come here, I want to show you something. Pick this little baby up on the road when you're coming in.
What happened here?
Looks like he took a shot in the leg. Someone must have mistaken him for a deer.
Must have been blind. Who put that splint on?
I did. It was a clean break. There wasn't a splinter nowhere.
Well, you done a good job. You brought him to the right place, too.
Oh, Miss Amy, we wouldn't put you out none. We could take care of Ponderosa, couldn't we?
Well, sure, but how'd you like to ride all the way out there with a broke leg? Put him in the barn.
I had a feeling you might say that. Here we go, babe.
You shouldn't have bought them for me, Amy. I've never worn trousers in my life.
Well, it's time you did. Besides, you look pretty funny pitching hay in one of them tea party dresses.
I hadn't thought of that.
How about a drink?
A what?
Lemonade.
Not here.
Sure, here.
Oh, you can't be serious.
You're right, I didn't mean lemonade. Come on.
Amy Wilder, decent women don't go into saloons, much less drink in them.
Oh, this is Virginia City, not Atlanta. Besides, there's plenty of women inside. Come and see for yourself.
Hi, Miss Amy. Miss Amy, where have you been? We
Well,
missed you.
I got more to do than lollygag around the saloon, you know. This here is my sister-in-law, Margaret. She comes from Atlanta, Georgia. She's real genteel-like now, so you behave yourselves, you hear?
Sure.
Margaret, this here is Sally. That's Mary Ann.
How do you do, Miss Wilder?
Oh, ain't they sweet? Oh, I just love to be around young people, you know, so full of life.
Come on in. We're gonna have a real party now, you.
the matter with you? What kind of manners is that? Atlanta kind?
I will not associate with that kind of woman. And neither should you.
You just do what you want, and I'll do what I want, like always. You want to stay out here and die of thirst, it's up to you.
Hi, Miss Amy. Can I buy you a drink?
Nope, the drinks is on me, like always. Send 'em up to the house.
You're Margaret Wilder, aren't you? I've been wanting to meet you. I'm Barton Roberts. You may have heard of me.
Yes, I've heard the name.
Yes, I'm sure Amy has mentioned me. But really, I'm not the black-hearted villain that she thinks I am. Truly, Miss Wilder, I am concerned only for her own good.
Amy may be a little eccentric,
Please. Telling the truth is only going to hurt her. Senile is a much better word. Miss Wilder, I have offered her a fine price for a piece of worthless land. And all she'll say is that I'm trying to steal from God's creatures.
I don't understand.
All right. Amy owns a piece of land on a creek up near Carson. Now, I have offered her far more than it's worth. She says the fish in that stream would suffer.
Really?
I swear it. Fish. Oh, and the birds. Now, is that rational?
Yes, it seems strange.
Miss Wilder, I think it would be wise if you drew up the papers, had her committed.
No. Amy may need looking after, but she is harmless. She's back again.
That was an easy guess. If it's a woman disturbing the peace and giving the town a bad name, it's got to be Amy Wilder.
Old enough to know better, too. Look over there. Ever see anything so pretty in your life? They are beautiful. The joy and the delight. Yes. Are you fond of fish, Amy?
To eat? Hate 'em. Never tasted but one in my life, and I didn't like that. Here. What are you doing here?
Passing by hot and dusty and help myself to drink of your water.
No objection to that.
Building fence is hot work. Sweats it right out of a man.
Fence? Where?
Got him here, boss. Better look out. He's got a rifle.
Told you, but you had to do it again. One deer hung up on the wire last time, and 100 others dying of thirst.
tried to kill me. So to get this straight, Amy tore down this fence after she was warned by Judge McIntyre. And this time she tried to kill me.
She was very excited.
Excited enough to try and commit murder? That woman's dangerous.
I'll talk to her.
You'll do more than that. You'll sign papers to see that she's put away where she can be taken care of.
Please. I can't do that.
All right. Then she'll stand trial for attempted murder, and you'll have to testify against her as an eyewitness, and she'll go to jail for a long time, probably for the rest of her life.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Please be seated. The purpose of this inquiry is to determine the mental competence of one Amy Wilder. Pertinent to that, this document signed by Barton Roberts asks that she be remanded to the grand jury to face a charge of attempted murder. Or alternatively, that she be committed to an institution as mentally incompetent and totally dangerous.
If anybody ought to be locked up, it's him.
Sit down, Amy.
Well, it's true.
Mrs. Wilder, you will be given ample opportunity to speak in your own defense. Until that time, I earnestly suggest that you be quiet. This document, signed by Margaret Wilder, asks that she be made the legal guardian of Amy Wilder. Many of the facts are already a matter of court record. Before inquiring into the latest destruction of Mr. Roberts' fence, the court has some questions as to the ability of Amy Wilder to manage her financial affairs. Mr. Eads?
Yes?
Mr. Eads, it mentions here eccentric behavior and wasted funds.
Well, it's my money, ain't it?
Could you tell us something about this, Mr. Eads?
Yes, well, I have all the bank records here. Cy left Amy well provided for, but his investments have seen some reverses. There's nothing I could do. These were Cy's investments, and Amy didn't want to make any changes. I've tried to get her to economize, but...
Well, I have, Arnold Eads, and you know it. Well, it's true. House needs painting, the curtains are falling apart. I haven't had me a new pair of pants since the fall of Babylon.
Will you please go on, Mr. Eads?
She's been piling up a lot of bills for stuff she doesn't need. Salt blocks for wild game and bird seed. Not just 2 or 3 pounds, sacks of it.
The birds eat it.
And hay and grain, and then her saloon bills and...
I don't know nobody.
All these fines. And yet she refuses an excellent offer from Barton Roberts for a tract of brushland that she says she'll never use.
Well, dear.
And then she
that's the way
refuses to
I
cut her monthly check for Margaret Wilder.
Amy, why didn't you tell me?
No need to.
Now, there's mention here of the strange way Mrs. Wilder speaks of her deceased husband, or rather speaks to him. I'd like to have that clarified.
Ain't nothing strange about it, young fella. Been married to a man 40 years. He ain't never dead for you. Not even if you've seen him laying there in the coffin.
Judge McIntyre, may I? When someone you love dies, afterward, even long afterward, you can still see him, hear his voice, the sound of the laughter, feel them in the room with you. Yes, even know what they think. It's a normal thing.
were one of those I asked to speak today, Ben. I'd like to hear what else you have to say.
Well, about those enormous expenses Mr. Eads was talking about. Well, Amy loves and cares for her wildlife. That's all it amounts to.
Are you saying that her extreme behavior is rational, Ben?
I think we're all apt to act eccentrically if we care enough about something.
Even to using a gun?
Well, the full story of that hasn't been told yet.
It will be, Mr. Cartwright.
Your Honor, it wasn't enough that she pulled out my fences time and time again in the face of a court order. But this time, she brought a rifle with her. She put a bullet within inches of my head, and if I hadn't been moving, I'd have been killed.
Inches? It was closer than that. If I'd have wanted to hit you, I'd have hit you whether you was moving or sitting. And maybe the next time I will, too.
That will do, thank you. We have used up this day. Mrs. Wilder, I don't want to put you in jail, but I will have to unless you can promise to behave. No fighting, no firearms of any sort.
I promise.
Today is Friday. This hearing is adjourned until Monday morning at 10 o'clock, at which time the court will give its decision.
Wrong, wasn't it? That's a bad thing to say.
Well, wasn't the best, maybe.
Oh, no maybe about it. I saw the judge's face. I know what he thought. Well, you can't blame him. Nothing for it. He's got to send Amy Wilder to the loony bin. Oh, don't fret, my dear. You tried to help me.
Come on, Amy. We'll take you home.
No, I'd rather you didn't. I can find my way. I've been doing it for years. Say you can do me one favor, though. Take Margaret home with you. Let her see how pretty the Ponderosa is.
I'd be happy to.
You won't be lonely, Amy?
Never was. Si will be with me and all my friends. All right, boys, come on. Come on, boys, you're going to all have something to eat. Yes, now don't crowd around like that. You're all going to get yours. Now don't be such a pig. You're going to get yours as soon as I put it down. All right. Come on now, everybody eat. That's fine. Gotta get some for Harriet, too, don't we, huh?
get you going out in the kitchen. Here you are, Harriet. Go on, out in the kitchen. Locked up for your own good, wasn't you, huh? That's what they're gonna do to me, you know. Come on now. There you are. See, I let Mr. Poe go. Yep. No, he's all gone now. All right, Si. Most of the folks, they was all right. Just talking loud and fast, the way people do when they don't know what they're saying. But it was all right, my dear. Judge wanted to know how come I could talk to you. Ben Cartwright spoke up for us. He told him.
Hardly expected to see you back here this morning after yesterday's session. Did you drop in the hope of influencing my decision?
I'd like to.
Well, that's honest, at least.
But I know better.
Of course you do. So?
It's a lovely day out. Much too nice a day to be inside here reading all these musty law books. I thought you might like to go for a ride.
Any special reason?
Well, whenever I have a tough decision to make, I like to have as much information as possible. I thought maybe a ride would help you out, too.
But you're not trying to influence my decision.
I am. But only by showing you things I think you ought to see.
Field research. I was thinking of that myself. But no speeches. If there are any questions, I'll ask them.
That's just the way I'd like it, Your Honor.
Is this where Roberts built all these fences?
That's right.
That raises a question. Why build a fence here?
Now that, Your Honor, is a very good question. Here.
Waller?
I'll wait here. I've given Amy trouble enough.
Quite a place.
Yes, yes. Usually a bunch of dogs around here.
Amy! Amy, it's Ben Cartwright.
Amy? Oh. That's, Harriet. She won't bother you.
Oh.
I wish she could be. Amy?
Enough feed pans for an army.
Well, she has an army of dogs. That's funny. There's a crow in this cage yesterday. Addressed to me. Last will and testament. Amy? Amy? Amy! Amy? Amy, it's Ben Cartwright. Now, Amy, I know you're in there. Amy?
Amy, what's the matter?
Nothing.
You're not feeling well? Are you feeling poorly? I've never seen you take a nap in the daytime in your life.
Can if I want to.
I found your will.
You was meant to. Your name was on it.
Amy.
What's the matter? You think I'm too sick in the head to write one?
You know better than that.
I can write one if I want to. They ain't said I'm loony yet. Not official. I can stay here if I want to, too. I'm my own boss. Till Monday.
Of course you are. Is there anything I can do for you?
Yep. You can get out of here and leave me alone.
Is she all right?
She's in bed. She says she's fine, but she's going to stay in bed.
This is quite a will. She leaves all her property at Carson to the state of Nevada to be used for a park and game refuge, all wildlife to be protected. One half of her money to be given to Margaret Wilder, the other half to be used for winter feed, salt, birdseed, hay for animals in this area. Pretty generous.
I suppose some people will call that pretty extravagant.
I'm sure some people will. After all, it's no ordinary thing buying hay for deer. Might be described as...
Strange, loony, not right in the head. Is that what you think? Just because I buy hay for deer? Well, you wouldn't call a rancher feeble in the mind, would you? Just because he buys winter feed for his stock or lays out salt or worries about how well they are, would you? Now, let me tell you, and you're going to listen to me because this is my house and you can't shut me up here. They're wild things. They're God's critters. But they're my life. Was he saying what I thought he was saying, Ben?
Mrs. Wilder, I like it here. I hope you invite me back very often.
You mean I'm going to be here? Oh, glory. Glory.
Amy. Margaret's outside, waiting.
Margaret, supper be ready before you
these miles together, it'd be a shame not to keep in touch. You look me up now whenever you get to town.
No, I don't believe I will.
Why not? I'll buy you a beer.
I don't drink, mister.
Well, coffee. What about coffee?
Help yourself. Me, I pick my own friends. Thanks for stopping. Go ahead and take it away.
Ah, hit up! Ah! Carpet back there, will you, friend? Whiskey. Double or nothing. People like you take all the sport out of drinking. I was on the verge of despair.
You still are. I'm not going to loan you any money, Charlie.
I got something that's too big for me to handle. I was hoping against hope. What do I find? The best in the bit.
Not one red cent.
It's big and easy. He's a greenhorn like you wouldn't believe. Hay seeds in his hair and money coming out his ears. Somebody's going to clean him like that. Unless you and me do it first.
Tell me more.
Hey, Pa, look who's here.
Hey, Killer. Chris Terry, how are you? Good
Fine,
to see you. Good to
fine,
see you. When'd you get in?
Just a little bit ago.
Yeah?
So I'm down the road about 4 miles walking.
Well, how'd you make out in the goldfields? Any luck?
I found a little gold.
Yeah?
I told him he could have his old job back.
Oh, sure. Of course you can. Hey, what's a big gold operator like you wanted to work as a cowhand for?
Well, I figured if a man's got a little money, he ought to be happy. But it didn't work out that way. People are always hanging around me, slapping me on the back, calling me friend and pard. Always trying to get my money. That's enough to gag a rattlesnake.
Some people are like that.
It sure will be a pleasure to get out there in the bunkhouse and get settled.
Of course, the best way to protect yourself is to say as little as possible about your money.
That's just what I got in mind.
It's especially important right now, Chris. There's a bunch of confidence men in town. Sheriff doesn't know who they are, but he does know a lot of people have been swindled. Now, if it were to become known that you had struck it rich, they'd be on your back in no time.
Well, how much you make?
Oh, 67,000.
67,000? Hey, friend, hard.
Listen, we want to talk to you about a couple of things. No, don't you dare talk to anybody about how much money you made. You're not carrying it around with you, are you?
No, I bought me a letter of credit.
That's a good idea. Oh, another good idea. You take that letter of credit into the bank first thing in the morning. Oh, and if anybody tries to send you to City Hall or the county jail cheap, you tell us about it.
Come on, let's get settled.
Thanks, Mr. Carter.
Listen, did you ever think about buying a bunkhouse? I'm going to use a bunkhouse out there. Then I got loaded.
$67,000.
Gentlemen, Charlie Pitch, the alderman, Obie Miles.
How you doing?
Walt King.
My pleasure.
What do you want to see us about, Howard?
Charlie says he's lined up a sucker for us here in town.
I thought you wanted to go on to Denver in the morning.
This could be good.
Art, we made 5 scores here already. No fixing with the sheriff.
I figure it's time to move on.
I think we ought to be able to pull off one more without any trouble.
Depends if it's worth it. How much money this chump's got?
Charlie?
The story is he made it pretty good in the gold fields.
You the double-jointed fellow they call Loose Charlie?
That's me.
He falls in front of carriages, throws himself out of joint, and yells and carries on.
What do you pick up for a thing like that? 15, 20 bucks?
Yeah, generally.
His idea of a big score and ours might be something different.
Charlie put me on to something good a couple of years ago. This could run maybe $3,000 to $4,000.
Oh, more like 5 times that.
Second thought, maybe we better take a look at this chump.
Indeed. So that's the mark. Looks like a real cinch.
There's a couple problems.
I'll see how quick I can pick him up. Buy him a few drinks.
Oh, he doesn't drink.
All right. Buy him coffee.
Stay with him. We'll get him in a game tonight.
He doesn't gamble.
We'll teach him.
He knows. He's against all forms of wagering.
That knocks out poker.
And the race wire.
We'll let the alderman try the stock market swindle.
Uh-uh.
Why not?
He's a country boy. You say stock, and he thinks you mean cows.
Charlie, is there anything else you haven't told us about this Yahoo?
Well, he tips his hat to ladies. And he's honest.
How honest?
All the way, straight as an arrow.
His name is Christian Keller.
Is he ripe for picking? I mean.
Don't count on it.
Charlie, thanks for nothing.
He deposited $67,000.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Well, it may be a little time-consuming, but I guess we're going to have to sell him something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And, what kind of company was that again?
A patent reaper company.
Patent Reaper Company. Well, that has a rich, full sound. And how did they pick you up?
I was sitting there having a cup of coffee, and this fellow comes up to me. Walt, his name is.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, did I drop my wallet? And sure enough, underneath my chair, there's this wallet.
So you looked into it, and you found out who owned it. Hmm?
That's right, Mr. Hobie Miles. And the wallet was stuffed with money.
Was it? So, of course, you took the wallet right back to Mr. Hobie Miles at the hotel. And Mr. Miles just happened to own a patent reaper company.
That's right. You know, I was finding wallets all the time up north.
They sure didn't waste any time, did they?
No, but they didn't try and sell me anything. They just kept talking about how much money the stockholders in this company are going to make. But they did say I could see the plans.
Did they? And when do you see these people again?
In the morning. And I asked them if I could bring a friend along. And they said he'd be welcomed.
Very good. I look forward to seeing a patent reaper.
There you are, gentlemen. This little beauty will revolutionize harvesting. We already have orders for more of these machines than we can possibly manufacture in a year.
You know, I think that could be a very big success.
It already is.
Well, when I was here before, you said something about stock. Walt said that...
Walt? What did Walt say?
He said maybe we could buy some stock.
He did he? What'd you say that for? You know every share of stock was spoken 4 months ago.
I thought, Mr.
That's the problem. You didn't think. Now, gentlemen, I thought you came up here to see these drawings. I never dreamed Mr. King would give you the idea you could buy stock. I've refused old friends, even members of my own family.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry we've troubled you.
No, wait now. Mr. Miles, Mr. Kelly, he is a friend of yours. He returned your wallet with more than $1,000 in it. He's an honest man, a deserving man.
I admit that.
And Mr. Keller's friend, Mr. Cartwright, why, he owns one of the largest ranches hereabouts. he could be of great help in getting the reaper sale started in this area. Think about it, Mr. Miles. You'll be helping a man who helped you and also helping your reaper company.
Well, now, there was a block of stock I was saving for a man who was supposed to be here 2 days ago. He hasn't shown up yet. So, under the circumstances, I suppose I can let you have that.
Thank you, Mr. Miles.
It'd be expensive. Cost you $71,000.
Well, I haven't got that much.
Well, Chris, I just might be able to come up with the difference.
Cash or certified check, no later than tomorrow morning.
Yeah, well, we could get over to the bank and get things started. Well, thank you very much.
It's all right.
It's awfully nice of you to allow us to participate in this.
It's all right.
Reasonable profit on an investment is always welcome, but this also offers us a chance to help every rancher in Nevada. All right, gentlemen. We'll see you shortly.
Hey, homie, you're Jim Dandy.
Well, I was in top form, if I do say so myself.
And so was Ben Cartwright.
Oh, Cartwright and that Criswell are coming up with the money.
Mm-hmm. In marked bills with the sheriff in the next room.
Huh? Don't you know a smart man when you see one?
A man like Ben Cartwright isn't going to make a heavy investment after one meeting in a hotel room. So pack your things, both of you. You're leaving town right now.
I guess we better. And this teaches me the virtues of humility. And what about you?
Mr. Blackwell?
Hmm?
Obie wants to know what you're going to do.
You never give up. Not you.
A wise man knows when it's time to quit.
What happened, Ben?
I'll tell you what happened, Clem. Mr. Miles and company have disappeared. Vamoose, checked out.
I'll be. I had the room next door rented. I was going to wait till you handed them the money and then nail them. Now, what could have spooked them?
Maybe we were too willing to buy.
even thank you properly. I don't know your name.
Chris, ma'am. Chris Keller.
Charity McGill. And I do thank you.
You're welcome. Look, Miss McGill, why don't you get up here in the buggy? It's all right. Come on. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll go to the Ponderosa. I work there. Not too far from here. Both you and your horse can get rested up. You ever heard of the Ponderosa?
No.
Biggest ranch in these parts. Mr. Cartwright owns it.
Well, you know more about ladies than you think you do.
Let's go.
I think I've got that horse all settled down now.
Well, I guess I'm all settled down, too. Well, I better get started.
Oh, Miss McGill, it's a long ride to Virginia City. Wouldn't be any trouble if you'd like to stay over or if you want one of us to drive you back.
Oh, you've done quite enough already, Mr. Cartwright. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Well, goodbye, and thank you all.
Nice meeting you.
I'll walk you to the buggy.
I'm afraid I'll never be able to repay you, Mr. Keller.
Well, don't think anything about it.
Strikes gold and rescues a pretty girl. Some fellas have all the luck.
Yeah, well,
She's kind of cute.
it seems very nice.
Mr. Cartwright?
Hmm?
If I get all those strays in this afternoon, can I have tomorrow off?
Yes, I suppose so. Any particular reason you'd like to have the day off?
I just thought I'd ride into Virginia City.
Yeah, well, he's got money in the bank. He probably wants to go in and watch it grow.
Miss McGill.
Good morning, Mr. Keller.
Morning. Hey, can I give you a hand?
Well, I would appreciate that. Just up to the hotel.
Uh-huh.
How have you been?
Fine. Lemon drops. Try and chew them up quick so I can talk.
Do you have any peppermint?
What was so?
Thank you. I have an awful sweet tooth.
So do I.
I go around like this half the time.
Say, did you get back to town all right the other day?
No, I was captured by Indians, bought by a band of wandering gypsies, and finally rescued by the cavalry.
That sounds terrible.
Was. I nearly missed dinner.
Fish hooks.
I know. They're too big.
No, they're about right.
They're too big.
I don't like to dispute a lady.
Well, don't then.
Have you done any fishing?
Certainly.
What kind?
Chub, dace, catfish.
Well, there you are.
And trout and salmon. These things must be for sharks.
You like to fish?
Oh, yes.
So do I. Miss McGill,
Yes?
Nothing. Forget it.
Well, it was awfully nice seeing you again, Mr. Keller. And thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Well, goodbye.
Bye. Miss McGill, I don't suppose you'd...
Yes, I would. I'll be ready first thing in the morning. Oh, and those fish hooks are too big. Oh, thank you. I couldn't believe it. It was so hysterical, I never thought I'd...
scare the fish.
That superstition fish can't hear. What you have to watch out for is letting your shadow fall in the water.
Oh, your shadow's not gonna fall in the water this time of day. Look at there. Uh-huh. Here. Worms.
Oh, no. Is that deep, I suppose?
Of course.
Grasshoppers on the surface.
Charity, your ignorance is pitiful.
I'm going to go downstream and work that for a while.
Hey, it's a pure waste of time.
We'll see.
Hey, Charity? How you doing?
Oh, so-so. How are you doing?
Charity. Can I borrow one of your grasshoppers?
I've had a wonderful time, Chris.
So have I.
May I have my key, please?
Maybe tomorrow I can get off early and come into town and I'll take you to supper. Is there anything wrong?
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
No, it's just some business. You go along, Chris. I'll talk to you later.
Say so. Charity?
It's all right, Chris.
The heaviest in.
Howdy. Howdy, Mr. Cartwright. Everything all right? Sure. A couple more hours and we'll have her finished. Good. See you later.
Mr. Cartwright.
Yeah?
Can I speak to you for a few minutes?
Sure, Chris.
I was over taking a look at Ed Newhall's place the other day, and he's thinking of selling.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, I was just wondering what you thought about it.
Well, Ed Newhall's place is good land there. Nice little house. Good outbuildings, too.
My impression, too. Just needs a little work.
Are you interested?
Yeah. Well, since those swindlers took off, I thought I'd put the money to good use.
Buying a ranch, huh?
Yeah, I know it's reaching kind of high, but, well, Charity McGill's the finest girl I ever met.
Well, now. You thinking of getting married, too?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I haven't asked her yet. I haven't got up the nerve. I don't know what she'll do when I do ask her.
You mean you don't know her well enough to know what she's liable to say?
Well, sure I do. I know that her father died recently and that she lives in Sacramento and she's here on business. And there's this fellow that's giving her some kind of a problem. But I expect everything's going to work out all right. Sure hope so.
Yeah, so do I, Chris. Sure do. Meanwhile, getting to know her better is all to the good. You know, marriage is for a long, long time.
Over on the Russian River, I tied into a big old steelhead. Boy, did he give me a fight.
We're not doing very well today, are we?
No.
What time is it?
Oh, 1:30 in there. Why?
Well, I have to be back to see the lawyer this afternoon. There's still time.
Honey, if there's anything I can do to help.
No, it's just some affairs of my father's. Go on with the story.
Oh, well, I wrestled with him for 20 minutes to a half hour easy. He was a real old sock locker. That big. That's the gospel.
How big?
More like that.
I thought so.
What'd I do?
I got a bite! Nothing more I can do here, so I guess I'll go on home.
How soon?
Day after tomorrow?
That's kind of sudden.
Yes, I suppose.
When will you be coming back?
I don't believe I will. I mean, there's no real reason to.
Guess not.
You can come visit me.
No, I don't think I want it.
I'll write to you. Will you miss me?
Oh. Charity, you're not going anywhere, because I love you, and we're going to get married. Aren't we?
Hoping you'd ask that, and dreading it at the same time.
What for?
I can't, Chris.
Why not?
Well, you can't ask a man to take on a lot of unwanted problems. Well, not if you really and truly love him. Well, when my daddy died, about the only thing he left was the Ledbetter number 6. Well, that's a gold mine just below here.
Yes, I know.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, I got a letter from this man, Arthur Blackwell, saying that he had mortgages and liens against the mine, and if I didn't pay them, he was going to take the mine.
I don't understand your problem, Miss Miguel. Let him take it. That mine was worked out years ago.
No, Daddy said he found a new vein, but that's not the point. Mr. Blackwell's been saying that my father salted the mine and falsified the assay to swindle him. Well, I'm not going to let this man blacken my father's memory.
I see.
I told Charity I had some money, and the easiest thing in the world was for me to get her out of debt.
Well, I don't think you should do that.
Well, Chris, you realize what you're saying. I mean, when you strip it all away, what you'd be doing is buying a gold mine.
As long as it'll help Charity.
Well, it'd have to be a loan, Chris, with a new assay and the proper papers drawn up and everything.
What is the amount of the debt?
$65,000.
Well. If you like, we'll help you take the assay. I mean, getting ore samples out of an old mine shaft is no work for a young lady.
Well, that's very nice of you. I'd appreciate that.
Of course. I'll write a note for you to sign, giving us permission to be in your property.
Thank you, Mr. Cartwright.
Not at all. I want you to get over to that mine right away tonight. Don't let anybody near it.
Well, what do you think?
It's a rather unusual story we just heard. Our horse is down with the South Herd. Drop by there and tell him to meet us at the mine. I'll join you there in the morning. We just may be able to settle a couple of things.
This hot coffee tastes good.
Boy, it got cold last night.
You're not kidding.
How's it going?
Have any visitors?
Nope, no one.
Not at all?
From the looks of this place, nobody's been here in a year.
When I get the equipment here, I'm gonna get some samples all along the shaft. Every 5 feet or so.
All right.
I want to get some core samples, too. About 6 feet into the face. Well, might as well get started, huh? Figure these samples are worthless. I don't see how there could be anything of any value in that mine.
Well, at least Charity's been honest about it. She's the one that wanted the assay report.
I'm still troubled by the fact that the amount of money that she owes happens to be almost exactly the amount of money that Chris has in the bank. Isn't that strange?
Well, I think it's just a coincidence. I think you're barking up the wrong tree.
Well, I hope so. Meanwhile, let's stick to the plan. If anybody tries to salt those samples, we'll let them look the other way.
All right.
I'll wait here for Hoss.
Straight there.
Yeah, all right. Whoa. Whoa.
Yeah, we can leave it out here, watch from the inside.
Well, that'll give them the chance they want. And we can have a beer.
Not a bad idea.
Keep an eye on it, Jerry. There you go.
Uh-huh.
$2 and not even a nickel.
2 free beers and a free lunch? It wasn't all wasted.
Yeah, I suppose you're right.
You bring rock to maybe so office?
Maybe so, office?
Maybe so you get rich, maybe so you don't.
Maybe so. Yeah. Maybe.
Young men in search of a fortune, bringing in a wagon load of high-grade ore for the assay office. Solid gold rocks. I can tell by the feel of them.
That's really our day for dingbats, isn't it? Let's get this stuff inside.
Well, Gil, sit down.
Thank you.
This assay report was brought back about an hour ago by Joan Candy. Now, most of the samples were proved worthless. That's to be expected. But according to this report, apparently there's a vein of ore in that mine which assays out at an average of $2,500 a ton.
Hey, that's great.
Oh, I never doubted it. And that's almost exactly the same figure Daddy had.
Now, all we have to do is get the money to Mr. Blackwell, and we'll have everything nailed down for you.
For us.
There's one other thing. This report is based on one set of samples. We took 2 sets, as identical as we could possibly make them. My son Hoss is having the second set assayed in Carson City right now.
Well, isn't that unusual?
Just an added precaution.
It's more than that.
Well, let Mr. Cartwright tell me.
Well, if the 2 reports agree, and everything's all right, there's no problem. If they don't?
He's saying there's something funny going on.
Like what?
Something. That's why he's getting 2 assays.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
I don't.
Oh, Chris, stop fussing, and it's time we were leaving. Well, please let me know as soon as you get the report.
Of course.
Thank you.
You got the second report, huh? Well, the samples were the same as the others.
Not quite. The best of these samples showed a value of $1.06. That man's been manned up.
The samples were just like the other ones.
We got them at the same time from the same places.
Sorry, Chris.
She was trying to swindle me all the time. That's what she's trying to do. She wouldn't accept any help after I told her you were waiting for a second report. I had to beg her to take the money.
But you did take it.
Sure she did. Now, I'm not sure if I can get it back, but I'm going to try. I'd appreciate it if you ride along with me.
Sure.
Ah, my darling niece. Where are you going?
Well, I was going to leave Virginia City, but I wanted to see you first.
Commendable. Since you have the money that we all jointly earned from that young man, we do have to split it up.
Well, I've been thinking about that. Uncle Arthur, I've made a decision about this whole thing.
Of course you have, my dear. All beginners come to that same decision the first time out. It's just buck fever. Come on. We'll have that little talk, hmm? A great day, gentlemen. Truly a great day.
That's right, Art. I mean, Mr. Blackwell.
There. Breathe, you rascal. Greatest little invention since the wheel. Saw anything and everything with the liquid essence of gold.
You are a good man. So are you, Charlie. From now on, you stick with us.
Much obliged.
And now let us drink to that little lady without whose feminine charms and quick wit none of this would have been possible.
Hear, hear.
To you, my dear niece, our heartfelt thanks. You did well on your first venture into the confidence world. Extremely well. Pity you had an attack of conscience. My dear, you must learn. Never give a sucker his money back. The real pity is you could have been one of the great ones. So, hail, farewell.
We won't be long.
This way.
Obi-Wan's room.
Start talking any time.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Sure you are. They got you tied up here like a Christmas turkey. No wonder you're sorry.
All right. Who tied you up, Miss McGill?
My uncle and his bunch. They're on their way to Carson City. They said they were going to Denver, but I know they're going to Carson.
When did they leave?
Oh, 30, 40 minutes ago, in a buggy. Oh, Chris, I know you're not going to believe this, but I was trying to bring the money back. All of it, when Uncle Arthur caught me.
You're right. I don't believe it. Come on, let's go find him.
Hey, look at this.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, wait, I'm going with you.
Nita's coming up behind us.
There we are. I'll make you a deal. We'll give you half the money. We'll keep half, and you let us go.
No deal. Come out with your hands up.
Charlie. Maybe if we gave all the money back, we'd only get about 9 or 10 years.
Don't be a fool.
All right. You let us go. We'll leave the money behind. Otherwise, I'll burn it up. Every dollar.
My money's here and a lot more. They must have got it from them other fellas.
6 weeks. Hard work. We let a chump like you take it away from us. There's no justice in the world. Your fault. My kin, but you don't take after my side of the family.
Well, I'm sure my fiancé won't mind.
You're who?
My fiancé, a fella named Chris Keller. We're going to be married.
We're gonna be what?
I know you won't believe this now, but it's true. I found out I couldn't steal, not even once, because I love you, you big loot. And I'll convince you if it takes the rest of my life.
Well, it won't take that long.
I love you, Chris, honest.
Those are the prettiest words I ever heard.
I'll make him a good wife, really.
You know something, Chris? I believe she will. All right, boys. Come on. Up here.